Hi everyone. I'm Mumu from Susan's family. Today, I'll teach everyone the crochet method for the Cloud Ode shawl from the Shutsufu series. This shawl is divided into Section 1. Section 2. Sewing. Crochet the border and the ties. Learn Section 1 first. The main part and the edging of the main part. The main part starts with a chain ring method. Work back and forth in rows. Several crochet stitches will be applied, all marked clearly on the chart, so I won't list them one by one here. Please watch my demonstration for the detailed crochet method. Take out the corresponding yarn. For the swatch, I'll use cotton yarn for demonstration. Colors are random. For specific yarn, color scheme and hook size, please refer to the detail page of the corresponding product and the printed pattern instruction. Begin with a chain stitch. Start by making a slip knot. Then crochet 8 chain stitches. Fold it in half. Position it so the braid-like texture faces you. Pick up the front loop of the first chain stitch. Work 1 slip stitch. Gently tighten. The cast on is now complete. Now move on to the first row. Chain 1 as the beginning chain for single crochet. This doesn't count as one stitch. Then work 14 single crochets into the foundation chain space. Keep the starting tail of the yarn over the hook. Weave in the ends as you go along. Once completed, the first row is done. We'll consider the side with the clearer texture as the right side. Any remaining yarn tails can be trimmed off. Continue to crochet the second row. First, chain 3 as the beginning chain for double crochet. This counts as one double crochet, correspond to the single crochet on the edge below. Turn the work counterclockwise. Work 1 double crochet into the left single crochet stitch. Pay attention, on the wrong side, the stitches are on the upper left. Don't work into the stitch under the turning chain. Continue picking up stitches, and work 1 double crochet into each. Finish this row. Once completed, check the stitch count. The second row is done. Now work the third row. Start with 3 chain stitches as the turning chain. Turn the work. Work 1 double crochet into the left stitch. Four chain stitches. Skip 1 stitch below. Correspondingly work 2 double crochets. Four chain stitches. Continue skipping 1 stitch below and work 2 double crochets. Between each group of double crochets, use 4 chain stitches as a bridge. Finish this row. The ending double crochet should be worked into the beginning chain. You can hook into the top of the beginning chain, using both loops of the chain stitch. The third row is completed. Continue to crochet the fourth row. Start with 3 chain stitches as the turning chain. Turn the work. Work 1 DC2 in 1 into the left double crochet. That means working 2 double crochets in the same stitch. The DC2 in 1 is completed. Continue crocheting 4 chain stitches into the next group of double crochets. Work 2 DC2 in 1 correspondingly. Continue crocheting this row following the chart. After completing the last DC2 in 1, work into the beginning chain. Pick up both loops of the top chain stitch, and work 1 double crochet. The fourth row is completed, for rows 5 through 11. The crochet method is similar to row 4. Refer to the chart and work back and forth crocheting double crochets and chain stitches to form this pattern. Pay attention to the number of chain stitches and make sure the insertion position of the double crochets is correct. Don't miss any DC2 in 1. On row 11, you'll encounter a single double crochet. Simply pick up the chain space and work into it. Everyone, complete this part. Remember to measure the dimensions. After completing row 6, compare it with the dimensions given in the chart. If there's a significant difference, you need to adjust your tension and recrochet to avoid affecting the finished product's size. During the crocheting process, you might find the yarn tail is not long enough, which requires joining yarn. Here, I'll demonstrate the method using a swatch. Tie the 2 yarn tails with a knot. Then continue crocheting. Position the knot on the wrong side. Finally, weave the yarn tail into the wrong side's texture and hide it. You can hide it for a few more stitches. This is the method of joining yarn. Next, I'll demonstrate row 12, using a swatch. There are fewer stitches, mainly to show the technique. Start with 3 chain stitches as the beginning. Turn the work. Make 1 DC2 tog on the 2 stitches on the left side. First, make 2 incomplete double crochets correspondingly. Yarn over. Insert the hook into the stitch. Draw the yarn through. Yarn over and draw through the first 2 loops. The first stitch is done. Continue with the second stitch. Yarn over. Insert the hook into the adjacent stitch. Draw the yarn through. Yarn over and draw through the first 2 loops. The second stitch is done. Yarn over and draw through all loops in once. The DC2 tog is done. Continue crocheting according to the chart. Let me demonstrate the DC2 tog again. First, make 2 incomplete double crochets correspondingly. Finally, yarn over and draw through all loops in once. The DC2 tog is completed. Continue crocheting according to the chart to finish this row. The explanation for row 12 is finished. Continue to crochet row 13. Make 3 beginning chains as turning chain. Turn the work at the stitch under the turning chain and the left stitch. Work 1 DC2 tog. Then continue crocheting according to the chart. The ending DC2 tog is worked in the last stitch and the turning chain. After completing, work 1 double crochet in the turning chain. Row 13 is completed. Next is row 14. Continue crocheting back and forth according to the chart. Everyone complete this part. Now crochet row 15. Make 3 beginning chains as turning chain. Turn the work. Work 1 double crochet in the stitch under the turning chain. Now continue crocheting according to the chart. When you reach a 5 chain space, work in the middle chain. Work 1 DC5 in 1. At the same position, crochet 5 double crochets. You can insert the hook into 1 or 2 strands of the stitch. The DC5 in 1 is done. Continue crocheting this row according to the chart. Row 15 is completed. For row 16, keep following the chart. In row 17, you'll meet a new stitch technique, DC3 in 1. The technique is similar to the double crochet decrease. Match the corresponding position according to the chart. Crochet the corresponding number of incomplete double crochets. Yarn over and draw through all loops in once. The DC3 in 1 is done. Continue crocheting according to the chart. Keep crocheting all the way down to row 20. Now I'll demonstrate row 21. Start crocheting according to the chart. The first single crochet is done. Next is a CL4 SL picket. First, crochet 4 chain stitches. Insert the hook into the front loop of the next stitch below. That's the loop at the front of the stitch. And the loop on the left side. Work one slip stitch. Gently tighten it slightly. The CL4 SL picket is done. We'll call it a CL4 SL picket. Continue crocheting. Let me demonstrate the CL4 SL picket again. First, crochet 4 chain stitches. Insert the hook into the front loop of the next stitch. And the left side loop. Work one slip stitch. The CL4 SL picket is completed. Continue to finish this row. When crocheting the double crochet at the end, find the third chain from the bottom and insert the hook to crochet. Row 21 is completed. Rows 22 to 24 will follow. Refer to the chart and crochet back and forth. When you meet the DC 3 in 1, work 3 double crochets in the corresponding position. Complete it by yourself. In row 25 you'll learn a new stitch. The DC3 bobble. Insert the hook into the chain space, and work 3 incomplete double crochets. Then yarn over and draw through all loops in once. The DC3 bobble is completed. When you meet the DC3 bobble later on, just follow this method to crochet. Continue working back and forth referring to the chart. Pay attention to row 29. When making a single crochet on the DC3 bobble, make sure to find the correct stitch position. In row 33 you'll meet the DC4 tog. Please watch the demonstration for the exact technique. Here I'll demonstrate using a swatch. The position is random. Pick the corresponding stitches referring to the chart. Make 4 incomplete double crochets. Finally, yarn over and draw through all loops at once. The DC4 tog is completed. Continue working back and forth in the following rows. Pay attention to the stitch placement at the beginning and end of some rows. Refer to the chart. No stitches are worked on the turning chains in some rows. When a row starts with a single crochet, remember to make one chain as the beginning chain. Turn the work, pick up stitches along the edge and work single crochets. Refer to the chart for the insertion point of the middle stitches. Please pay attention not to make mistakes. You can measure the length of the straight edge while crocheting. Compare it with the dimensions provided in the chart. Make an early estimate. To ensure the size fits properly, follow the chart and finish row 42. In row 43, you will encounter a DC6 tog. Here, I'll demonstrate the technique using a swatch. Pick up the corresponding stitches and make 6 incomplete double crochets. Then yarn over and draw through once. The DC6 tog is completed. Continue crocheting this row by referring to the chart. After completing the last 3 chain stitches at the previous insertion point, and the 2 double crochets on the left side, on the edge single crochet, work a DC4 tog in 1 stitch. This edge stitch can be slightly stretched. Row 43 is now completed. Continue to row 44. Start referring to the chart for crocheting. When you meet a DC6 tog, work 1 treble crochet in its stitch. Yarn over the hook twice. Insert. Draw the yarn through. Yarn over one after another. Pass through the first 2 loops. Repeat 3 times. Treble crochet is complete. Whenever you encounter a TR later on, just crochet it using the same method. Continue crocheting to finish this row. After completing the ending treble crochet, row 44 is now done. Continue to row 45. Start referring to the chart for crocheting. When you meet the position of 2 SC from the previous row, work 1 SC2 tog on these 2 stitches. First, work 2 incomplete single crochets correspondingly. Insert. Pull the yarn through. First stitch is complete. Continue inserting into the adjacent stitch. Pull the yarn through. Yarn over and draw through in once. The SC2 tog is now done. Continue referring to the chart to finish this row. Row 45 is complete. The last 2 rows are worked in multiple sections. Here I'll demonstrate the first section with a swatch. Following the previous yarn, refer to the chart and crochet accordingly. After completing 6 chain stitches, slip stitch into the DC3 tog on the left side. Slightly tighten. Now carry the yarn across, stretch the loop. Thread the yarn ball or fabric through the loop. Pull tight. Then turn the work. At the beginning of the next row, draw the yarn through. Pay attention to keeping the carried yarn close to the fabric. Continue crocheting according to the chart. Cut the yarn after completing. Secure with 1 chain stitch. Enlarge the loop. Leave a 5 cm yarn tail and cut it off. Pull tight. The first section is done. Continue to crochet the second section. Turn the work on the left side of the first section. Row 45, SC2 tog. Join the yarn in the DC3 tog on the left side. You can make a knot. Draw the loop through. Adjust it a bit. Joining the yarn is done. You can use this method to join the yarn from now on. Then crochet according to the chart. Once the slip stitch is completed, carry the yarn across and crochet the last row. Finally, cut the yarn. The second section is done. For the remaining sections, crochet using the same method as the second section. For the last section, crochet according to the chart. Everyone, finish it up. That concludes the explanation for the last 2 rows of crocheting. The main part explanation is also completed. Next, we'll learn how to crochet the edging on the main part. Crochet in rounds around the main piece. Then pick up stitches along the straight edge. The new stitch technique used here is the half double crochet. Please watch my demonstration of the specific crocheting method. Here, I'll demonstrate using a small swatch. Position the wrong side of the fabric facing you. As for which exact side should face up, everyone can adjust according to personal preference. Locate the far right side of the straight edge at the last row's edge stitches. Join the yarn. Make 1 chain as your beginning chain. Work 1 single crochet in the same stitch. Then pick up stitches along the side edge following the chart. The placement for the single crochet here can be adjusted according to the actual situation to keep the edge of the fabric flat and neat. Do not change the total number of single crochets along the straight edge to avoid affecting the sewing process later. The stitch count here in the swatch is random. When you reach an edge that's a single crochet, simply pick up the stitch and crochet into it. Crochet all the way to the position of the first round. Work 1 half double crochet along the side edge. Make 1 double crochet into the starting chain space. Continue with 1 half double crochet on the other side. Keep going down, working single crochets correspondingly. After completing the 2 single crochets on the last row's edge, work 1 single crochet into the edge stitch of the final row. You can check the stitch count now. Mark the last stitch with a yarn tail. Then work 2 single crochets into the same insertion position. When you encounter yarn tails or carried yarn, wrap them into the stitches together. Work 5 single crochets into the left chain space. Make 1 single crochet into the stitch. Finish at the position of the last row. When you meet a SC2 tog, work 4 single crochets into the right chain space. Then pick the left and right chain spaces, and work 1 SC2 tog into the same hole. Work 4 single crochets into the same hole. Continue crocheting by referring to the chart. After completing the last single crochet in the final chain space, work 2 single crochets at the starting joining position. Then work 1 slip stitch into the first stitch. Pull tight and cut the yarn. The first round is complete. Next, start the second row. Join yarn at the slip stitch position from the previous round. Chain 1 to begin. Start from the current position. Pick up each stitch and work single crochets one by one. Keep working all the way to the marked position on the left. After completing, check the stitch count. Leave a yarn tail about twice the length of the straight edge for sewing. That concludes the explanation for edging the main part. Section 1 is also explained completely. Next, we will learn Section 2. It is divided into 2 parts, the motifs and edging the motifs. There are multiple motifs. All are started with a magic ring. Crochet in rounds counterclockwise. You will need to switch colors during the process. Only the first motif on the left is a complete motif. Other motifs need to be worked and joined along the side on the final round. The new stitch technique used is TR2-in-1. Treble crochet TR2 bobble. Please watch my demonstration for the specific crocheting method. First, crochet the first complete motif. Start with a magic ring. Pay attention to the color scheme shown in the chart when selecting yarn. After completing it, crochet the first round. First, make 1 chain as the beginning chain. Work 9 single crochets into the ring. After completing, close the magic ring. Finally, join with a slip stitch to the first single crochet to finish. If you do not know where the very first stitch is, you can count the stitches from back to front. tighten the slip stitch to connect. The first round is complete. We will consider the side with clearer texture as the right side. Continue crocheting the second round. First, crochet 5 chain stitches. Work 1 TR2 and 1 into the left stitch. That means working 2 treble crochets into the same stitch. You can tighten the yarn tails together. Completed the TR2 and 1. Continue with another TR2 and 1. Five chain stitches. Work 1 slip stitch into the left stitch. The oval-shaped slip stitch does not need to be tightened. We will treat the crocheted stitches as one group. Continue and crochet 2 more groups. The last slip stitch of the final group. Crochet it into the slip stitch position from the previous round. The next round requires switching colors. Cut the yarn here. The second round is complete. Now crochet the third round. Join the yarn in the chain space on the left side of the yarn tail from the previous round. Make 1 chain stitch to start. When the round begins with a single crochet, you always need to make 1 chain stitch to start. We won't repeat this reminder later. Work 1 single crochet into the same position. Then work single crochets correspondingly into the next 4 stitches on the left. You can tidy up the yarn tails together. Work 1 single crochet into the chain space. 3 chain stitches. On the slip stitch on the left side. Pick up the braid of the slip stitch, and work 1 double crochet. Three chain stitches. We'll treat the crocheted stitches as one group. Continue to crochet 2 more groups. After completing, slip stitch and cut the yarn. The third round is complete. Now move on to the fourth round. Join the yarn at the slip stitch insertion point from the previous round. Work 1 single crochet at the joining position. 6 chain stitches. Skip 4 stitches on the left side, and work 1 single crochet. 3 chain stitches. On the double crochet on the left side, work 1 TR2 bobble. First, make 2 incomplete treble crochets. Yarn over twice. Insert. Pull the yarn through. Yarn over and draw through the first 2 loops one after another. Repeat twice. First stitch is completed. Continue with the second stitch. Yarn over twice. Insert. Pull the yarn through. Yarn over and draw through the first 2 loops one after another. Repeat twice. Second stitch is completed. Finally, yarn over and draw through all loops at once. The TR2 bobble is done. Hereafter referred to simply as bobble stitch. Continue with 4 chain stitches. In the same position, work 1 bobble stitch. First, make 2 incomplete triple crochets. Then yarn over and draw through all loops at once. Bobble stitch is completed. Continue with 4 chain stitches. In the same position, work 1 bobble stitch. Three chain stitches. Repeat the stitch pattern from the beginning. When completed, work 1 single crochet in the left single crochet stitch. 6 chain stitches. Skip 4 stitches and work 1 single crochet. Next, in the 2 chain spaces and the double crochet on the left side, work 1 single crochet in each. Both sides have 3 chain stitches as transition. Finish with a slip stitch. Cut the yarn. The fourth round is completed. You can see the fabric forming a trapezoid. Now work the final round. On the right side of the yarn tail from the previous round, join the yarn in the third chain space. Work 1 single crochet in the hole. 3 chain stitches. Work 1 single crochet in the next hole. 3 chain stitches. Work 1 half double crochet in the left hole. We'll treat this half double crochet as the top corner. Then work single crochets in the 3 chain spaces on the left. Work single crochets in each. Refer to the chart for the chain stitches on both sides. Take a look. The chain stitches here are 5 chains. 3 chains, 3 chains and 4 chains. Once completed, we'll treat the stitches after this top corner as a diagonal edge. Next, work 2 bobble stitches into the bobble stitch on the left side, with 5 chain stitches bridging in between. We'll consider these stitches as the bottom corner. Continue working single crochets in the 5 chain spaces on the left. Work single crochets in each. Refer to the chart for chain stitches on both sides. Pay attention to the exact number of chains, don't make a mistake. We'll treat this section as a long edge. Next, continue working the bottom corner. Once completed, crochet a diagonal edge. After completing, work 1/2 double crochet in the left chain space. Finish the top corner. Finally, crochet 3 chain stitches. Consider these starting stitches together as a short edge. Join with a slip stitch and cut the yarn. Hide all yarn tails on the wrong side following the texture. Complete this piece, everyone. That's how the first motif is done. You can measure the dimensions by referring to the chart. If there's a big difference, adjust your tension and crochet again. To avoid incorrect sizing, move on to crochet the second motif. The first 4 rounds are crocheted the same as the first motif. Pay attention to the different color scheme. The sample has been crocheted in advance. Now crochet the last round, and connect it to the right side of the first motif. Refer to the chart, and finish the long edge position first. When reaching the corresponding position, crochet the corner below, and connect it to the first motif. The corner on the upper right side. First crochet 1 TR2 bobble stitch. Then crochet 2 chain stitches. Locate the corner on the upper right side of the first motif, which is this half double crochet position. Place them with their wrong sides facing each other. Insert the hook into the stitch and crochet 1 slip stitch. Continue with 2 chain stitches. 1 T or 2 bobble stitch. As you can see, connect at the bottom corner here. Replace the middle chain stitch of the 5 center chains with a slip stitch to join with the half double crochet. Now for connecting the diagonal edge below. It starts with 4 chain stitches. Here, for better appearance, add a slip stitch in the middle. Connect to the 5 chain spaces on the diagonal edge of the first motif, which means first crochet 2 chain stitches. Pick up the chain space and slip stitch. Then crochet 2 chain stitches. Continue back to the current motif and crochet single crochets. Now continue crocheting the diagonal edge and replace the middle chain stitch with a slip stitch. Slip stitch to the chain space corresponding to the first motif. After completing, take a look. The diagonal edge has been connected 4 times. Next, crochet the top corner and connect it. Work 1 half double crochet here. Then slip stitch to the bottom corner chain space corresponding to the first motif. Next, on the previously crocheted half double crochet, pick up the front loop of the stitch. That's the strand closest to you. And the bottom strand. Crochet 1 slip stitch. Gently tighten it. Later, when connecting at the top corner positions, follow this same method. Continue with 3 chain stitches. Slip stitch and break the yarn. The second motif is now crocheted and connected. Next, connect the third motif. Here I've already pre-crocheted the first 4 rounds. Now crochet the 5th round. First crochet up to the top corner. When you reach the corresponding position, connect the top corner. Start with a half double crochet. Then find the corresponding bottom corner of the second motif. The fabric forms a strip. The long and short sides are staggered. Slip stitch to the bottom corner hole. Then pick up the front half loop of the previous half double crochet and slip stitch to the one thread below. Adjust it a bit. This way the top corner is connected. Continue connecting along the edge. The method is the same as before. Pay attention not to crochet the wrong number of chain stitches. Start by connecting to this 4 chain space. Once the edge position is connected, connect to the bottom corner. First crochet a TR2 bobble stitch. Chain 2. Slip stitch to the corresponding top corner of the previous motif. Continue crocheting this corner. Then crochet down normally to finish this round. Finally, cut the yarn and weave in the ends. This completes the connection of the third motif. The remaining motifs should be connected in the same way as the second and third motifs. Pay attention to stagger the long and short sides. Also stagger the color schemes. Don't connect in the wrong position. Everyone finish this part. That's all for explaining the motifs. Next, let's learn how to crochet the edging on the motifs. On the connected motifs, start by crocheting in rounds, then crochet from right to left. Please watch me demonstrate the specific crochet method. First, work the first round. Place the connected motifs with the right side facing up. The short sides of the motifs on both ends should be on top. Here I will demonstrate using a small sample. There are fewer motifs. The main purpose is to demonstrate the method. Locate the half double crochet at the top right corner of the rightmost motif. Join the yarn. Chain 3 as the beginning chain. Chain 1 as a transition. Into the left chain space and single crochet stitch. Make a double crochet in each, with 1 chain in between. After completing, make 1 chain stitch. In the same hole, work 1 double crochet. Chain 1. Add the beginning chain to this motif. A total of 7 double crochets. Next, on the next motif. At the corner and along the long side, pick up the stitch and work into the chain space with the corresponding stitch, with 1 chain stitch in between as a transition. Pay attention, don't miss the hole you're connecting to. The two sides are double crochets. The middle consists of half double crochets evenly. After completing, you can double check. Now it's at the short side position. On the top corner stitch and short side. Follow the same crochet method as the starting motif. Don't miss any transition chain stitches. Continue down following the stitch pattern on the long and short sides. Keep crocheting all the way to the leftmost motif. When done, place a marker in the last double crochet stitch. Chain 1. Work 1 double crochet into the half double crochet on the left side. Moving down along the diagonal edge, pick up the chain space and stitch, then work a double crochet, chain 1 transition on both left and right sides. When done, work 1 double crochet into the bobble stitch on the left side. Chain 1. Work 2 double crochets into the chain space. Chain 2 and 2 double crochets. Now on this side, refer to the chart. Crochet the corresponding stitch pattern. The method is similar to the previous side, but the insertion position is slightly different. At the corner of the edge, crochet following this method. The diagonal edge is crocheted the same as the previous diagonal edge. Continue crocheting downward following the chart. Once the diagonal edge is complete, the final double crochet is worked into the joining position. Chain 1. Slip stitch into the beginning chain to finish. The first round is complete. Now move on to the second row. Start with a chain 1 to begin. Work 1 single crochet into the beginning chain. Pick up the chain spaces and stitches one by one and work single crochets accordingly. Keep crocheting all the way to the marked position on the left side. Once completed, double check the stitch count. Confirm everything is correct before breaking the yarn. Weave in the yarn tail. This completes the edging around the motif. Section 2 has also been explained. After completing both Section 1 and Section 2, now work the final round of edging and sew them together accordingly. Thread the reserved yarn tail from Section 1 into the yarn needle. Make sure the right sides of the edging are facing up. Here we'll use a sewing method. Start with the side of Section 2. Insert into the back loop of the first stitch on the edge. That's the strand of the stitch that's away from you. And the back loop of the next stitch. Pass through. On the right side, pick up the back loops in the same way. Insert first. Then exit through the adjacent back loop. Gently tighten. Then insert into the previous exit position. Pick up the back loop of the next stitch. Pull through. On the other side, insert and exit at the same positions. Exit through the middle of the next stitch. Gently tighten. Continue sewing in this way. After a few stitches, pull the yarn tight. To create this effect. In this way, continue picking up these half loops to sew. After a few stitches, pull the yarn tight, while keeping the fabric flat. Finish this row. After sewing, bring the yarn tail to the wrong side. Tie a knot and weave in the ends. This completes the sewing. Next, we'll learn how to crochet the border. Crochet around the edges of Section 1 and Section 2. The new stitch technique used is a CH3SL picket. Please watch my demonstration of the specific crochet method. I'll continue using the swatch to demonstrate. Right side facing up, find the rightmost motif of Section 2, the 2-chain stitch position at the bottom right corner. Join the yarn into the hole. Work 1 single crochet into the same position. 2 chain stitches, and 1 single crochet. Then pick up the corresponding stitch and work 2 single crochets. One CH3SL picket. First work 3 chain stitches. Then pick up the front loop and the strand underneath. Work 1 slip stitch. The CH3SL picket is completed. Later referred to as CH3SL picket. Continue picking up holes and corresponding stitches to work single crochets. Remember to skip 4 single crochets. Work 1 CH3SL picket. Finish the motif edging. On the right side at the chain space of row 2. Work 1 single crochet at the insertion position for the first SC of the row. 1 CH3SL picket. Then work 1 double crochet at the sewing position. At the edge of row 2 on the main part, find the insertion position for the single crochet. Work 1 half double crochet. Pick up the next stitch and work 2 single crochets correspondingly. 1 CH3SL picket. Continue downward, skipping 3 single crochets. Follow the pattern to work 1 CH3SL picket. Before completing the SC2 tog. At the position of the second single crochet, work 1 SC2 tog on the stitches on both sides of the SC2 tog. Then work 1 CH3SL picket. When making a slip stitch, pick up the front loop and the left side thread, a total of 2 strands. Work into those stitches. Continue downward, referring to the chart. Pay attention to the sides of the SC2 tog. The number of single crochets between the CH3SL picots varies. All other positions are spaced with 3 single crochets. Work on section 2, following the same method as before. Continue crocheting this round by referring to the chart. Finally, slip stitch to fasten off the yarn. Hide the yarn tails. This completes the edging all around. Finally, make the ties, a total of 2 ties. Crochet a cord on the purl button. Then secure it into the 2 chain space of the edging. Please watch my demonstration for the specific making method. Take the purl button and the corresponding yarn. The swatch uses random colors. First, thread the yarn through the buttonhole of the purl button. Leave a yarn tail that's a little more than 3 times the length of the cord needed. The exact length of the cord can be referenced from the chart, or you can adjust it as needed. For this swatch, the length is random. First, make a knot. Then place the reserved yarn tail from front to back over the crochet hook. Hook the yarn out. At the beginning, you can make it slightly tighter. Continue threading the yarn from front to back. Hook out. Repeat this step. Mindful not to make the yarn too tight. Keep crocheting until reaching the desired length. When done, leave a 10 cm yarn tail and cut the yarn. Thread the needle. Find the position of the 2 chain stitch holes on the edge. No specific method is required, just secure it firmly. Then tie off and weave in the ends neatly. For the other side tie, crochet it using the same method, and attach it symmetrically. Everyone finish it up. That's all for the tie. Up to this point, the entire shawl tutorial is completed. If you have any questions during the process, don't hesitate to reach us via our website, Susan's Family, supporting your handwork experience, sharing the joy of life. Thank you all for watching. See you in the next episode.